Welcome to r/askreddit. What old person things do you do? Check the obituaries in the paper every morning to be sure I'm not listed. I'm 81. I'm absolutely floored by the amount of old folks on Reddit. Glad y'all come to hang. I was just telling my wife this. I'm amazed. You'd never know if they didn't say it. I look up words on Urban Dictionary so I can try to understand words kids use. That whole yeet thing was a wild ride. Complain when people come over after 7 p.m. Complain when people come over. The real answer. Go grocery shopping early in the morning. Old people know what's up in the front. No lines, there and back, home in 30 minutes. Yep, this one. Or I go around midnight. 47, I'd noticed the old age stuff happening a few years ago. Early to bed, less jeans, more comfy pants, tea instead of coffee, hold my books farther away, and love when plans cancel and I can stay home. The last thing is universal, I believe. Canceling plans is like heroin. Copyright by John Molyneux. Ask my wife to turn off the lights when we're not in the room, because I don't own stock in the electric company. I said that to my kids. My smart-ass daughter said, "We have solar, so you kinda do, right?" Look at Mr. Big Shot over here owning the sun. I eat like an old person. I love grape nut cereal, green bean casserole, Weathers original, cream of wheat, corned beef hash, and especially butter pecan ice cream. I've been known to order meatloaf at restaurants. Good Christ. I left work early so I could open my new vacuum that was delivered today. I'm super excited to vacuum my whole house. Maybe when I'm done, I'll put plastic on the couch and plastic runners on the floor to keep the house more tidy. I got angry at some kids running across my front yard last Halloween. I was this close to literally yelling, "Get off my lawn!" before I stopped myself. I'm 34. 34 is a bit young to become a member of the law enforcement. I'll be 75 in May, so everything. I browsed Reddit while sitting in my recliner, with my feet up so my legs don't swell. 60 here. I'm happy to find I'm not the oldest around. Hats off to you and enjoy your Reddit. 62 here. Lol. At 54, I actually feel like a young Redditor right now. Not gonna lie. But I also feel like I found my people. I love to tell and retell boring, long-winded stories that go off on several tangents before I get to any real point. Stay tuned, though, because the next time we meet, I'm going to retell them again. Reminds me of Grandpa Simpson. We can't bust heads like we used to, but we have our ways. One trick is to tell him stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I caught the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe, so I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they called Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now to take the ferry cost a nickel, and in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Now where were we? Oh yeah, the important thing was, I had an onion tied to my belt, which was the style at the time. They didn't have white onions because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones. Type with one finger in my phone. Go to bed early. Sometimes like having dinner before 6, wear talcum powder to bed, also wear nighties to bed, wear granny stockings under all my work clothes. They save my work shoes from smelling okay. And keep tissues up my sleeve / my bra. I grew up with my grandmother and worked at aged care for 5 years. I've been well trained. Go to bed early. Not like 8 early, but I like to be in bed by at least 9:30 p.m. when I can. What can I say? I like to get my 8 hours. Respect. I tell myself to do this every night, and the clock strikes 11:45, and I'm still on my phone. I tie and untie my shoes every time I take them off and put them back on. Shoes are expensive. I'm not wrecking the heel to save a few seconds. This is why I got a shoehorn. I am 60, and I sigh heavily when my husband, 59, plays his music loud. I call a lot of people honey, and I cook old-fashioned food like fried chicken, pot roast, pork chops, baked potatoes, and I bake for my grandkids. I also fly kites with them. They love the way I run. You sound like a delight. I am prompt. Aggressively so. If you tell me to be at your house at 7, you best believe I'm knocking on your door before the clock hits 7:01. Screw this fashionably late or just get here whenever crap. I didn't ask what time you want to meet up to secretly gauge how cool you are. I'm trying to make a plan, damn it. Make dad noises all the time. Complain about the youth of today. Complain when there's too much noise. Say to my misuse, "Turn the bloody lights off. It's like Blackpool Illuminations in it." Edit. When I see someone with low-riding trousers, or trousers too big in general, I'll say, "They have more ballroom than Blackpool Tower." Almost 30. I don't know who the frick famous people are these days. Edit. Holy crap! I didn't realize this comment would blow up. To be honest, yes. For the last 10 years, at the least, I just don't care. It's not important, and also Hollywood is really corrupt. Most of the celebrities, now especially, are just puppets. But I know I'm old because when I was 12, 13, 14, and watched VMAs or something, my family would be like, "Who the hell is that bimbo?" Blah blah. Now I'm doing that. There was a thread on here a few days ago, what song do you hate, and I hadn't heard of any of them. At first I was astounded, but then remembered that I hadn't had cable since 2011, and haven't listened to radio since whenever Pandora first became a thing. I haven't watched a show or a movie or listened to almost any music in about a decade that I didn't select for myself. 21st century version of living under a rock, I guess. Vote in every election. I take fiber supplements. Cannot recommend enough. The less time I spend on the toilet actually taking a crap, the better. Still going to spend 20 minutes in there on Reddit though. Forget why I entered a room. It's the doorways. They wipe the mind like a slate. Threshold theory. That's my incorrect explanation of how I never take work home with me. It's actually called the doorway effect. But I like the way threshold theory sounds better, even though it's wrong. Wake up at 6 AM because I have to pee. Every day. Pain in every joint in my body. I'm 33. Have you been checked for arthritis? That's not just an older folks thing. Get annoyed when people are on their phones for a prolonged amount of time in a social situation. Say, "What?" an uncomfortable amount of times. Dress like an elderly man. Repeat the same story over and over without realizing until someone complains. At random times, I feel the urge to bake for friends and family. Read the letters to the editor section of newspapers whenever I'm grumpy, just to grumble arguments to myself if I disagree with them. Schedule nice dinners out with friends at 5 PM. They complain about it all the time because we're not old enough, 25 to 33, to eat that early, but I work days and I don't like people. I just want to eat at a time when the restaurant isn't packed and I'll get the food in a reasonable amount of time. I drive to food places to get my own food. Can't bring myself to spend money on Uber Eats, so I think that's an old man tendency. I'm with you. My friend likes to whip out that Uber app and I'm like, no, I'll pick it up. In my car I go, grumbling about paying extra when I'm healthy enough to get it myself. I can't sleep without my hot water bottle, even if my home is properly heated. I absolutely love receiving cozy gifts such as a comfy blanket, heating accessories, things related to sleep, or massaging pillows. I like spying on neighbors from my window. On vacation, I can stay at my place for days without ever feeling boring or wanting to leave. I only listen to classical music. I'm 27. I adore tea, soup with good bread, breakfast bread and cakes, soft cardigans, being home by 8 PM, and British television. I've been told that these are old person traits. I like my life. Say social media is bad, except Reddit. Y'all are okay. I don't like getting tagged at places on social media in real time, because I don't like people I don't know knowing where I am / when I'm not at home. My friends and family have been mocking me for my old lady habits since I was 20 or so. I'm currently 29. Here's a list that I can think of, but I know that if I asked them, they'd have a field day naming things off. I wear white socks that stick out from the tops of my shoes, always cotton. My glasses slide down my nose so consistently that I quit fixing them. I just rock it. I spend my days off gardening. I call everyone honey or darling. I drive the speed limit or less if the roads are bad. I love knit sweaters with big buttons. People come over and we just sit on my front porch where I have rocking chairs and we rock. I cook daily. Dry clothes on a line outside in the summer. Antiques are my decor. Try to force feed anyone who stops by. Always have a dish of candy out. I guess I just figure old people have so much more time to figure stuff out that they must be onto something. So I emulate without even thinking about it. I'm only 31. But here are quite a few things that I feel are old person things, like I'm constantly misplacing my glasses. I love wearing cardigans, especially if they have pockets. I prefer reading physical books over ebooks. I always carry a small pack of tissues on me. The only sports I follow are boxing and horse racing. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.